Some friends, welcome to our discussion. We're going to be talking about SUNO Studio today. I know lots of you have dabbled into the tool and you're wondering, what do I think about it? Well, I wanted to share the honest truth about this tool called SUNO Studio. Okay? I know SUNO has a lot of raving fans and they may not be very enthused about what I have to say, but SUNO Studio is in an evolution. Let's go there. Let's take a look, because a picture is worth 1,000 words. Might as well just jump in. So, straight away, the 3 silos, it's not an ideal design. I would have preferred something more minimalist, but I understand that you need access to your library to be able to play here. But this might throw people off, and it takes some getting used to. So the interface in and of itself is not bad. I mean, it's standard if you take away all these other additions that we have here. These additions, though, are essential to be able to work here, but I understand how some people see it as a distraction. Secondly, when you are recording in studio, it is pretty difficult to get these to align sometimes. For example, if I was to generate a track or record a track and then try to generate a track on top of it, all sorts of weird stuff happens. You know that? When you try to generate a track, you find it giving you more than what you asked for. I asked for bass. Let me give you an example. Let's see what we've got here. So this is cool because I had everything lined up, but let me do this. Let's go to a new project. New project. You would expect, if you had a standard track, let me get a track on here. Let's find which inputs I have. Which one is this? Okay, let's use the Roland. Let's see if we can get the Roland in there. Let's arm it. And I wonder if it's recording. Let's see if it's recording. If there's a waveform, I know it's recording. Okay, it is recording. You know, that's one of the quirky things as well. You can't hear yourself recording. I don't know if anyone has had success with that. Now, even though I have a volume control here, I have a tough time hearing what I'm recording, except I crank the volume up from here. But that's okay. All right, so it is recording. So let's delete that. Now let's go ahead and get this metronome turned on. Something anyway, something. So I've recorded something on the timeline. When I go back to the beginning, I expect to hear it aligned to the metronome, all right? But as a result of lag, you may not have that. See that? So that's one battle a beginner would have to face that makes it hard to use that functionality. But I don't want to complain. So let me just let me just try to align this track. Okay, let's try to align it. Let's try to put this on the grid, and we just hold the control key down and try to put it on the grid. Okay, put it on the grid. So it's a little bit too forward. So what we need to do here is expand it so that we got a very good view of it, and hold control down and just move it so it's right on the grid. Okay, let's see if that works. A good technique is to hold down your control key and use the wheel on your mouse to move around quick. Okay, so just that little piece I know has thrown people for a loop. The key thing is hold control and use the wheel on your mouse to really zoom in, and then hold control to be able to move things around in a micro way. Okay, so that's the first complaint I've heard from a lot of people, just getting the timeline, getting things to align. Now when you make this a lot bigger, you can move this, for example, all the way to the beginning, and when you start off again, you expect it to align. But I can see these waveforms don't seem to be exactly on it, so I might have that problem again. So I might as well just Control Z. Your standard computer shortcuts work here. Okay. So I would expect it to be right on top of maybe an even number. Let's try that again. Right to the beginning. And this doesn't want to cooperate. It's not being good. It's going to the beginning of the wave form, but I want it to be like on a 2 or maybe even on 1. So you know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to further shave this, and now maybe when I drag it all the way to the beginning, it'll start on the count. Or will it? It's like a toss-up. So, I mean, I'm not a beginner indoors, but the whole thing, you know, it can be a bit quirky. How much more for a beginner? Okay. Now, when I try to generate a track, I'm going to add a track, and I am going to, SUNO needs a clip on another track to add instrument accompaniment. Okay, well, it has it, so now it has it. I'm going to hit, let's say we want just drums, because drums is usually the first, drums or percussion. So let's go for drums, and let's just say world groove. Any world groove will do. Select a range of time, of course. So fair enough. Hold down control. Make sure you select all that you need. If you want more than that, you can select more than that. But what I would expect it to do, since I've aligned it to the metronome, is to give me a beat that is smack dab on the metronome, right? Smack dab on beat. So let's do that again. Drums, world groove, and create. 4 credits. Okay. 4 credits. So you got to be patient. You can see that spinning wheel. So until the spinning wheel is done, you shouldn't attempt to add anything else. So patience is a game. I know this irks some people because they want everything at once. Now, while having everything at once has its perks, having everything at once also has disadvantages. because it's a different creative process. So if you want to use Studio, the patience factor could be a con for people who don't want to wait that long. Okay, I'm just telling, I'm not judging anyone. I'm just letting you know that if you want to use Studio for a track, listen to me carefully, creatives. If you want to use Studio for a track, solid, finished track, just like I demonstrated in my previous videos, please assign 1 hour for your activities. 1 hour for one song. This isn't, the microwaved version. And you're going to have to work and you're going to have to sweat. And sometimes you get done in Studio and it still doesn't sound cohesive. It doesn't sound cohesive enough. So you got to play the long game, okay? Play the long game. That's all I'm going to say. If you're not playing the long game, you are going to bang your head on a brick wall. Trust me. Trust me. All right, let's check it out. Let's listen. Let's go all the way to the beginning. Where's that thing? All the way to the beginning. Okay, so this is another example of some of the quirks. I thought I was at the 0 point, but apparently I wasn't. I was at the 0 point here, but it seems like there was more that I didn't know. Let's zoom in and see. And let's go all the way to the beginning, all the way. See? All the way. You got to go all the way. You see that? See that sneaky little bit that was hiding? Okay. I have to attribute that to user error, but I'm demonstrating this so you know what to expect. All right, let's listen. Okay, so I'm obviously not soloing this track. So another frustration could be, why isn't my track playing? Well, you have this one on solo, so this one wasn't sounding. These little quirks could be quite annoying. So, not bad, okay? SUNO behaved itself today, and, they're probably ironing out some of these quirks as we go along. The other thing that some people have expressed frustration about, and, this is why some people say it's a ripoff. For some people said it's $18 in some regions. Some people said they're not able to get the $12 deal. I understand. I understand why you would feel, I ain't buying this thing. I can go use my regular DAW. What does this have that my regular DAW doesn't? Let me tell you plainly. Your regular DAW is not a generative DAW. Okay? Some people go as far as calling this a GAW. Give me a break with all these words. It's a DAW. It's a generative DAW. I don't care whatever you want to call it. But it generates additional stems, which is quite awesome when you think of it. Now, this piece that I have here isn't bad, all right? Even with my not ideal timing due to the quirky metronome situation. But if I take this new track and I try to create something else, right? The experience many people have had is just not gelling. Let's try a woodwind here. And let's just say pentatonic, scale, simple, melody, create. What makes this a little bit different, and let me share it with you, I apologize. So I've added another track and I'm generating woodwind, okay? What I have heard from other people is the frustration that, all right, so Phill, I've generated all these stems. They are costing me credits. And moreover, I got to export this stuff. I got to export all of this, and then I have to rework them outside of SUNO. And that's just how it is right now. You don't have any plugins. You could prompt, for example, maybe prompt for reverb. You could ask for it to have certain effects as it comes, and it's a toss-up with SUNO, as you know. And I don't say that like begrudgingly. I am very pleased with SUNO. It is, in my mind, the best. Let me be very clear, because I don't want people to think I'm hating on SUNO. I am very pleased with SUNO, okay? It is the best generative DAW in the marketplace. Nothing else touches it as far as its understanding of music theory and its ability to deliver. Now, when it comes to the audio piece, yes, it does have some shortcomings in, I want to say, about 50% of the tracks. The way I prompt is I prompt for clarity, punchiness, quality in the instruments. So if you're just prompting for instruments and you're not prompting for quality of the instruments, it might have an impact. For example, punchy drums is one that I learned from one of our users. Punchy drums. I'm like, I wouldn't have thought of that. Okay. Punchy drums, crisp hi-hats, crisp snares, all that stuff. You got to prompt it. And sometimes it works and other times it doesn't. But as far as the best DAW out there, because I'm all about the creativity, okay? I ain't going to sit down playing a 145 for the rest of my life. Give me a break. I paid my dues. I played those songs. I played the diatonic songs, and they can be very powerful. I understand. A lot of music in regular culture is diatonic. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You barely even hear the diminished. It's basically major, minor. You don't even hear the minor seventh. And, these days you might hear a few more major sevenths and minor sevenths from the enlightened composers, but a 1, 4, 5, a 2 minor, no minor 7, a 3 minor, talk less of a major 7 flatted fifth or a diminished seventh. Good luck with that. But for certain people, they want to compose with those idiosyncrasies. You don't hear them a lot. And you might even play for a layman. They're like, that doesn't sound good. But there are a lot of listeners that have that taste, for the more out there, the more acid jazz or funk jazz or fusions. And, sometimes very creative composers smuggle those basic things into the music. So I want to make it clear. I am not against SUNO. I love SUNO. It's the best. Okay? Can I just be clear about that before the haters start saying, why are you bullying on SUNO? After all, you use it. I'm not bullying on them. I'm just giving you my monologue. Because lots of you are asking how I feel about it. And I want to just be honest and transparent. It's a great DAW, generative digital audio workstation. But it does have a few hang-ups. But where SUNO cannot be touched, and I'll just say it so, let everybody just know how I feel about it. Moises, great in the mastering, great in the stem separation. Mid in the composition. Very mid in the composition. Producer AI, above mid in the composition. Mid in the intentionality of the programmer to get what they are seeking exactly. That's how I feel. That's my story. Yours may be different, but don't hate on the messenger. I'm just telling you how I feel. In terms of clarity, Producer AI kills some of the stems I've gotten from SUNO. Let me just be honest. SUNO's great. I've already established that. But when it comes to the sound quality, it has its hang-ups, big hang-ups. Now, going back into the platform, something else I like about SUNO is this mind-blowing characteristic. And I don't want to diminish it. I want to make it very clear. It excites me that I was able to take drums and bass, MIDI, not just wave, MIDI. And I was able to take that. And I was able to put that into my DAW. And I was able to get the unmistakable sound of John Patitucci's acoustic bass from the Trillion module. Do you know how crazy that makes me? I get excited when I hear good quality VSTs with whatever is being played. And no other DAW AI tool has been able to do that. So let's just give SUNO its round of applause. It's mind-blowing. I've actually released a track that has MIDI playing the instruments. You know how excited it made me to know I had more control? Talk about democratization of music. If I can take what SUNO does and make the MIDI make sense, that's the end of the argument of all the crazy artifacts. Then you have no artifacts because you got the vocals. The vocals can actually be worked on quite easily. So easily. The vocals have never been my problem. You know what's my major problem with SUNO? It's those crazy drums. It's the drums that make me, the drums, just the drums. Look, I had to delete 2 tracks that I loved, and they were about almost making their way. But I said, oh dear, those drums. So I tried my best, but alas, the brave producer was defeated at the Battle of SUNO by the crazy stems. I just deleted the entire song because I could not use the song as a result of the abominable drum hiss. It's those drums, that percussion. And that's why I'm excited about the future, because I am seeing what is ahead. Being able to get these MIDIs and being able to use them with some of the greatest plugins from the likes of Spectrasonics. I have the Spectrasonics drum module. That makes me wild just to see how things going to be in the future. When, right now, not all the MIDIs are exactly pristine, but very close. The one I was fortunate to download, it was spot on. And I think I showed it on the channel when I was composing with it. So a round of applause for SUNO. So if you look at the pros, generative DAW, so you got music, you want just a stem. Oh, if I had a sizzling saxophone, I could do this, I could do that. Well, now you have the ability to try, and you very well might come away with some great stems, some awesome input. But you have to be patient, and you have to play the long game. So the pros, it's you get generative quality stuff. The melody, the musicianship is bar none in SUNO, bar none. Some of the stems are good. Some of the vocals are really nice. Now, if SUNO ever watches this, my message to you, SUNO, is you need to work quickly on the reverb piece. Reverb, delays, basic stuff. Not everybody needs compression and limiters and all that stuff. Just basic reverb and delay. Can we just get a button for basic reverb and delay so that you can crank it down? So you've got a dry vocal mix and you can crank the reverb and the delays down. That would be really nice. If we have that sooner than later, I think more people will be warming up to studio. Because right now the advantages are the generative aspect of the DAW, which is huge, by the way. The ability to download MIDI, which is wildly it's mind-blowing to me. I love that. It's like, you guys are wizards. How are you doing this? Now, I know the sciencey people will explain it away as, oh, it's a simple conversion. I know. It's inputs and outputs, yes. But it's still, it marvels. You know what I mean? When I just think of what these folks have done, these folks, and I know the skeptics won't agree, but these folks are moving music forward. They're putting the power back in the hand of the musician. Did it ever occur to you how much power a musician that already has millions of followers can have if they cut out all the middlemen? You know what I'm saying? Or if they have one producer working with them, They're able to get their music on all the streaming platforms without any intervention of the big three, the draconian ones. You know how awesome that would be? Because when you think about it, what are the record labels really doing for you? When you're on tour, it's not them, it's you. Anyway, that's a different topic. But again, the MIDI and the generative aspect of this DAW is bar none. Those are the things that are crazy about Studio. Everything else, for the most part, you can do outside. To be able to layer and layer and layer like this is just awesome. Let's listen to what it's done. Check this out. I mean, it took some time to get there, but it doesn't sound bad. Looking back at the journey, it doesn't sound bad. I can even take my rather mid piano part off, put the volume all the way down, and I can listen to it without that piano piece. That's on beat. I mean, not bad at all, right? In my case, for $12 a month, not bad, not bad. Let's add another track and let's generate something else. All right. So let's go ahead and what am I doing? Let's go for vocals. Now, one of the problems I've had with the vocals is it gives you stuff that isn't vocal, like throwing in a bass or strings or something like that. So we got that, and let's put in the lyrics. So we'll just say, warm and inviting is the land of SUNO. Someone said, Phill, are they paying you for all this? You're singing songs about them, you're writing about them. Surely there's a catch. Are you a plant? Oh dear, some people and their imaginations. No, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I am not a plant. Which is why I can say stuff about SUNO that isn't favorable. All right, let's go ahead. Warm and inviting is the land of SUNO. The land of SUNO, wild and free, is so lovely to me, wild and free, plain to see. In my very simple way of writing the lyrics, this is going to be another 4 credits. So this is what some people can't stand. They think it's another ATM for SUNO. But you have to be honest. Look, I've got 8,000 credits. I mean, how can you run out of... It's like they thought of every possible scenario. Only a credit hog would run out of credits. I don't know how I'm going to like finish my credits if I don't use, you know, like think about it. So a song is usually 5 credits in version 5. Let's say you do, I don't know, 200 songs, right? With this, you could do 200 songs if you're spending 50 credits on each song. Or close, right? Let's check this out.
Warm and inviting is the land of SUNO, the land of SUNO, wild and free. Is so lovely to me, wild and free, plain to see.
So for those folks who ask the question, what if I have a song, I want to sing it, but I want SUNO to give me the instruments. Well, that functionality is already here, because all you would do is start a new song like this. Let's rename this one SUNO Wild. And let's go for another one, new project. And let's use the USB mic if I'm able to find it. And again, manual BPM, definitely not 120. Let's make this 80 maybe. And all you do is you sing whatever you want. And put on the metronome as usual. And begin recording. I was chilling in the land of SUNO. I was chilling in the land of SUNO. Wonderful to me is a land of SUNO. To me, all right. So I got done with my track, but no, it didn't record for some reason. So I can try it again. And this has happened in the past. I mean, I haven't done anything outside of the ordinary. I normally just hit pause or stop. But I don't know why it didn't work this time. So I'm going to do a quick test. Oh, I know. Check 1, 2. All right. So I pressed play, pause, still nothing. Let's try again. 1, 2, 3, check. Still nothing. 1, 2, 3, check. So this is another frustration that I have encountered in SUNO. Let's try and refresh the page. And this is not new. This has happened in the past. But let's press on. Let's see if we can do this again. So it is recording, but it's not registering when I stop. See that? 1, 2, 3, check. You see that? I had to refresh the page for the normal behavior to resume. So imagine if that was a killer take that someone had done, only for it to not have recorded. And these are some of the quirks. But it's all good. It's all good. So we go back to ground zero, manual BPM, 80. And let's try again. Oh, of course. Now it's been an eager beaver. Let's turn the metronome on. Let's make sure. Okay. I was chilling in the land of SUNO. I was chilling in the land of SUNO. Having a blast. Having a lovely time in SUNO. Seriously, I'm not making this up. Now you're seeing part of my frustration. Same behavior, you know, that it has exhibited in the past. I can't even record a take without it messing around. See that? Okay. So I'm wondering if at this point any of you have experienced something similar with SUNO, where it's dropping takes, it's not recording when it should. Has anyone else experienced this? I see our friend NLJ. How you doing? Good to see you on there. And take 3. Oh dear. Diddy, hi, how you doing? So you said, is SUNO still having trouble where when you try to prompt the drum track, other instruments are involved? Oh yeah, for sure. You, Notley Jenner said, I'm a credit hog. I use all the credits. Yeah, that sounds about right. That was me when I had 2,000 credits. Now I have 10,000. It will be interesting to see how far I can go. Yeah. Awakening Soul, how you doing? SUNO Land, yep, tell me about it. Let's try it again. I really don't understand why it's doing this. I was chilling in the land of SUNO. Chilling in the land of SUNO. It's lovely to me. In the land of SUNO. Please record, or I don't know what I'm going to do at this point. Okay, well, this has become quite comedic, but it also doesn't tell well when you've had to do 4 takes and none of them, not one is sticking. And you're seeing the waveform is developing, but it just ain't sticking. So, on to 4th attempt. 1, 2, 3. I am not going to sing the whole thing. I am just going to see if you will accept my recording. Oh my goodness. This is hilarious. This is hilarious. Okay. Let's continue. Since it's taking this on this track, maybe it will take the song. Okay. Oh, give me a break. I was chilling in the land of SUNO. I was chilling in the land of SUNO. It's lovely to me. In the land of SUNO. I really don't know what to. This is really bad for publicity, and I'm not doing it. I promise you, this is not me. This is just a tool. So the sad part is I'm going to have to use a different tool because it's just zero sum at this point. I think I've proven that the system is not very dependable when it comes to recording. And I had mentioned this once in 4.5. So what I'm going to do here is just use Nero instead. And I'm going to get my audio track. And we're going to carry out the experiment. Because really, I wanted to demonstrate how, for those who are looking to sing and have the tool play along, I wanted to show that it could be done. So I'm going to put the metronome on. You're going to hear the SUNO metronome, but I'm not going to hold my breath in recording to SUNO, but let's try. We're going to do both. So I'm going to put this on. Check. I was chilling in the land of SUNO. I was chilling in the land of SUNO. It's lovely to me. In the land of SUNO. In the land of SUNO. In the land of SUNO. I'm beginning to wonder why this is happening on both fronts. I didn't get anything here, so to SUNO's defense, I really don't know what's going on. It does show the signal is going in, and also to Nero, which is very odd. So I don't know. Well, let's do this a different way. Since I'm having all these hiccups with the tool, I'm just going to find a vocal harmony from a previous piece that I've done. I'm going to just move something from a previous piece I've done. So let's just grab this and put this over here, all the way up here. Okay. Oh shoot. Oh dear. Okay. This is where the learning curve is important, my friends. And I'm glad this is happening because it's a learning curve for me. So just as I was about to import Natalia, my backup vocalist, my lead singer on a lot of my tracks, I was about to play one of her vocals, this one. You hear her belting something out shortly. She go really, really powerful alto and soprano sometimes.
But she was nothing but...
So I was going to use that from Meal Ticket Girl that I put out the other day, but you know what I realized? All of the tracks I recorded, for some odd reason, they are all in the workspace. Every single take. This is comedic. Okay, so that was the first one. This is the second one. And the third one. 1, 2, 3, check. Okay. And the fourth one. So, okay. But the other ones, for some odd reason, didn't register. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. But anyway, let's do this. Let me let me get Natalia's song in here. Let's do that. Gonna find a way of moving this track onto the platform. It's just a comedy of errors on this episode, but I'm curious to know if other people have experienced something similar. Anyway, let's do this. Upload. Okay. Let's see where this is. Okay. It's on an external drive. Okay, here we go. So this is it, finally. Okay. This one. There we go. So at least we'll have a vocal part to work with. It shouldn't take that long. Shouldn't take this long. All right, let's refresh. You can't make this stuff up. If I told you I'd try to record a take with SUNO 4 times and it didn't, you'd think I was making it up. All right, let's do Meal Ticket Girl 1. Okay, fair enough. Okay, save. Cover. It doesn't make any difference. It will appear here anyway. Give it a few seconds. Okay. All right. So let's move Natalia's part to the... Actually, let me just get rid of this. This has had too many problems. I'm kind of a bit weary of it. And for this, I'll say follow track, because I really cannot remember the BPM of this song. Okay. I think it's 90 something, but I just can't remember.
But she was nothing but just a meal ticket girl.
Okay, so you folks, some of you've heard this song. So what I'm going to do is just show you the sensibilities of it, right? So if you had, let's say you have a song, you've done the vocals, and you want to build around it, you would bring the vocals to the platform. Then you would do add track. It's already selected for you. It's already detected the area. You could do add drums. You could say heavy metal, rock, drums. Very minimalist prompt, because I'm actually not very pleased with SUNO right now. We are in a tiff right now as a result of its very poor behavior. It's like you bring guests for dinner and you have this family member acting up. You know what I mean? SUNO is not behaving itself. I'm very cross with SUNO. Very poor behavior. Anyway, let's see what it does. Let's see if it can redeem itself.
But she was nothing but just a meal ticket girl.
Not bad. Now it's kind of like a slower groove for Meal Ticket Girl, for those of you that have heard it. But what I'm trying to show you is the possibilities despite its deplorable behavior. Really, really deplorable behavior. But it's redeeming itself bit by bit. let's add another track just for the show. And let's see. Okay. Oh, a correction. So listen to, I asked for drums, right? Because this is the same question one of our friends had in the chat just now. Listen. Why are you giving me drums and guitar and bass? I did not ask for that. I asked for drums. Give me drums. Stop being an eager beaver. You know what I mean? So I like it, right? But it's giving me something different. No matter how good it is, it's different. All right, let's take a look at this. Let's see how it will hold up with, let's do backing vocals. Backing vocals. And she was nothing but just a meal ticket girl. That's pretty much the song. It's a very sad situation when someone is a mere meal ticket, but it's reality. Okay. So heavy. I just say melodic, minor, simple, major, whatever you need to do, you can figure it out. Melodic, minor, simple, or based on a major or minor scale. All right, can figure it out for itself. Okay, let's hope for the best. Let's hit create. The thing I like about SUNO is I want to say about 90 to 95% of the time it is right harmonically and musically. Its harmonies make sense for the most part. But let's see if this is one of those instances where it will defy what I'm trying to do. So I can already tell from the waveform, this isn't going to end well. I can tell. This is not a good stem. It doesn't make sense. It should match. It should match the vocal. Let's listen. Come on now, what is that? That's not a vocal. You see how frustrating this could get? Let's pan this to the left a little bit so you can hear it on its own. And let's pan what Natalia did up here. Listen.
But she was nothing but just a meal ticket
girl. Not a very good example of how things should be. Let's try one more time. We've had some real epic fails today. Real epic fails. Let's go ahead and do a vocal. This time a vocal. How can you get that wrong? A vocal. Style, I'm just going to leave it blank. Figure it out for yourself. At this point, I'm kind of getting fed up. Another 4 credits. So much for doing the song in the land of SUNO. I'm not even in the mood. I don't want to be in the land of SUNO right now. I'm just quite disgruntled. Quite disgruntled. Okay. Someone said, Phil, your head is too big. You need to move yourself out of the way. Okay, I moved myself to the corner. Just like I want to put SUNO in the corner right now. Acting the fool. All right, let's listen. Just the track alone. Let's listen. So, I know it's emerging. Hopefully, SUNO will watch this and kill these kinks that we're seeing in the system, because it is very frustrating. Oh my goodness, so frustrating. You just want to have a blast creating, and you become a troubleshooter. You know. Here we go.
But she was nothing but Phill girl.
So it's failed. First of all, it failed to record me. Secondly, it failed to generate backup vocals. And thirdly, it failed to generate vocals. I think the case is pretty much closed. You know, while I love SUNO, I'm not happy with this kind of stuff. So how do I get around it? What I would do to get around this is I would feed it a prompt that is exact. I would cook my prompt before coming into SUNO, and then I wouldn't come into SUNO Studio looking for anything substantial vocal-wise. Music instrument-wise, yes. But it seems like when you are trying to request another vocal to accompany your existing one, it may not give you what you're looking for, which can be a big time suck. So you might want to come with your melody, your harmony, your backup vocals, and at that point, yes, SUNO can give you what you're looking for. And I was trying to use the Land of SUNO song because I knew it was simple enough. It was on a major key. It was just major seventh chords. It was easy. But unfortunately, I'm not able to do that. Maybe I'll go prepare the vocal. And then when the vocal is prepared, we can have another try. But for now, I want to take any questions. So if you got any questions, why don't you put them in the comments or in the chat? I have deliberately made the chat accessible to everyone, members, non-members. And I know that, subscribers, they will definitely police the chat for us. Because every now and again, we have the trolls who want to come on and tell us in their loudest Luddite tone that we are deplorable and despicable. You peasants, you maggots are using you're using SUNO. You should be ashamed of yourself. I've heard all sorts of colorful nonsense. Anyway, any questions? Mr. and Mrs. said, would it be better to use an audio interface like Focusrite or USB recording into SUNO? That would be good. So what I'm doing, I'm using a USB mic that is going directly into here, like this same mic I'm speaking to you with. But my recommendation would be probably bring in your track. Just bring in your track without any drama. So what I'm going to do, because I'm really curious to see what it would have done with the Land of SUNO song. So I'm going to keep you entertained for a little bit. I'm going to bring on my virtual DJ. Give me about 5 minutes. That's all I ask. Can you just give me 5 minutes? Give me 5 minutes, and I need you to chat in to me your quirks, your biggest. So if this was you, what would your biggest annoyance have been in the episode that we've just encountered together? Because you can't make this stuff up. You can't. Now you've seen it for yourself. I mean, this has happened to me in the past, where I try to record, and just when I think I'm getting it, SUNO doesn't record it. But anyway, let's bring on the virtual DJ. Just give me 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes is all I ask for. I'm going to bring on my virtual DJ, and I'll keep you entertained while I try my best to cook up this SUNO, Land of SUNO, and then we'll test it together and see what it does. See if it gives us better music, see if it gives us something simpler. All right, let's go to the virtual DJ. Here we go.
Jamming slow and smooth. Watch me as I groove. Slow and steady winds. Be cool and joy you bring. Slow and steady wind, be cool and joy you bring. Slow, steady wind and breeze, calm and me so much peace, washing over, transforming the moon. Here we go, watch me as I groove.
All right. Thank you for your patience, my friends. I really appreciate that. Now we can test out our theories and see if truly we enjoy being in the land of SUNO. Because these upsets are they're not good, honestly. Quite discouraging for newcomers, I know. But let's go to studio without much ado. Let me also see if we got any chats or concerns. Okay. So we're back, and we are back. Thank you very much. So what we're going to do is a brand new song. It's also, it's a good education for us to learn how to use this tool for those who didn't know. So whenever you get in, you click on the studio icon, in you go. I want to close this. I'm going to click on it. I want to close this. Let's click on it. And then this is going to be, we'll just call this Natalia, since I used her vocal. And then we're going to do new project, and finally the land of SUNO. Land of SUNO. And we're just going to click on the library, and we're going to drag land of SUNO in here. Look at the photo, the picture it's given for land of SUNO. That's funny. The tempo, this would be interesting to do a couple of ways. Since we're doing an experiment, let's just go all out. So let's do manual BPM, right? Let's have it, follow track. Let's do follow track. Yes, follow track. The real BPM that I set it to was, that's pretty close. Okay. It was indeed 76. So it didn't do too badly in deciphering that it was 76. So let's make it bigger, because I want it to start off on a particular measure. So let's see. I was chilling. So it needs to be right on there, like maybe that. Maybe that. Let's make it bigger. Let's check out the grid. Make sure we got a big grid to be able to see it as. Okay. I was chilling. I think we got it. In the land of SUNO. I was chilling way down in the land of SUNO. So it's trying to follow, which is interesting. I'm just going to let it do its thing. Okay. Can everyone hear me okay? Is it clipping or going weird? Can you hear me? Chatting to me. Let me know that you can hear me, because I want to make sure there's nothing crazy happening with the audio or anything. Can you type in all caps? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, my friends? Okay. Just checking. Just checking. Is there anyone out there? Hello? Okay, thank you, Mr. Appreciate that. Okay, let's go ahead and let's do this. There we go. Okay. I think we got it. Oh, there's more. Let's do that again, all the way to the beginning. This is one of the quirks. So you always need to make sure you're at 0. And honestly, if you look closely, you can see the numbers at the top. So my bad. Okay, very good. Thank you. Like the horrendous time we had that buffering. Might as well call it a buffer session, because everything was buffering on Sunday. Okay. So now we're going to do drums. Let's go for our drums. We're going to say slow jazz, big band, drums. only. Do not play anything else. Maybe it's hard of hearing. I got to tell it, right? All right, here we go. Let's hit create. Okay. Still spinning. Oh, 10 credits. That's a lot of credits. Wow. 10 credits. Okay. All right, let's check it out. Come on, SUNO. Why isn't it starting from the beginning? From 0. There we go. Okay. What a petulant little thing. Stop it. And now I have space before it. You know, this is just what makes you just scratch your head and wonder. All right, let's go. Here we go. Praises. It actually works. Okay. Uh-oh. Spoke too soon. I was chilling in the land of SUNO. So again, this is part of the idiosyncrasies of SUNO Studio. First of all, I asked for drums. It gave me more than drums, and it didn't put the drums where they needed to be. I think it forgot that I moved my voice track, my vocals, forward. So I have to find where it starts the song. I think it's somewhere here. In the land of SUNO, I was chilling way down in the land of SUNO. Lovely to me. In the land of SUNO, lovely to me. In the land of SUNO, in the land of SUNO. All right, I'm curious to know what you would score SUNO for that piece of work. Not for the melodic and the harmonic, but just following instructions. Just following instructions. Give the man a bass. Oh, I think it would be nice if I threw in a bass. I asked for drums. It threw in a bass. It threw in saxophone. What? SUNO. My goodness. What are you doing? What are you doing, SUNO? Okay, let's try one more time. You see, I'm using up a lot of these credits, but the experiment must be done. It must be televised. The experiment must be televised. All right, let's go to drums. Again. Jazz drums. Oh, you know what? Just drums. But it says style, so I guess I should say jazz drums. You know what? Instead of drums, maybe, I don't even know at this point. Maybe keyboard or bass. Bass is closest to the foundation. So acoustic bass. Okay. Now that it has this thing, maybe I should unmute it. Okay. Maybe it will use this as a reference and it'll try to break everything else down. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud for the tool. There goes another 10 credits. But it's a worthwhile cause. Because I really haven't seen the problems being televised. I see people saying good things about it, but I haven't seen people like showing the quirks to this degree. I know they are quirks, but to this degree. Because I really would like this stuff to be worked out. And, well, I hope it is considering what it did before. Okay. Let's check it out. Let's play it. I think it's done. Okay. Okay. I was chilling in the land of SUNO. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. And let's, thank goodness it just gave us a bass. I think. Let me check the end though. Land of SUNO. Okay, okay. All right. I hear you, SUNO. Okay. Good. Solid acoustic bass. Bring in your best John Patitucci or one of the greats. So now we've got a good bass. Let's go for drums. And we're just going to say traditional jazz kit drums. Okay. Here we go. I'm wondering if this first track somewhat served as a guide, and if it was using its artificial intelligence faculties, it wouldn't repeat what was already done. So that's what I'm thinking, but you know, who knows with SUNO? Who knows with SUNO? All right, here we go. Let's check this out. In the land of SUNO. I was chilling way down in the land of SUNO. Lovely to me. In the land. All right. SUNO is slowly redeeming itself. Very, very slowly, but maybe surely. I need to be convinced. Give me a sizzling piano track. Give me okay, keyboard. All right, let's see what we tell it. Jazz, piano, 1950s, 1960s, trad, jazz. All right, let's see. So this is drums or bass. That's bass, acoustic bass. This is drums. And this is hopefully going to be piano. But with SUNO, you just got to pray. It's not as repetitive, or it's not as consistent as I would have liked. But let's check this out.
Chilling in the land of SUNO. I was chilling way down in the land of SUNO. Lovely to me.
Okay.
In the land of SUNO. Lovely to me. In the land of SUNO. In the land of SUNO.
Okay, he's slowly getting there. Let me know what you think. What do you score SUNO as? It's a worthwhile question. Okay, let me help you out. Score SUNO Studio. Score SUNO Studio. If you give it 25%, let me know. If you give it a 50%, if you give it a 75%, if you give it a 90%, and a 90 to 100 to 100. Actually, 90 to, if you think you got 100%, you got to type it in, because I ain't giving it 100%. But tell me, how would you score SUNO? Would you give it a 25, 50? Let me know. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to add one more track, and we're going to put some sax on this thing. And bring your best Bird or Coltrane. Let's see what you're going to do, SUNO. Who's your best person? Give me your best person. Woodwinds. So, jazz. Give me a good tenor. Tenor sax. Okay. And it's cooking. I mean, I got to give it to SUNO. Beyond the annoying quirks, which could have discouraged a lot of people from going further, when we overcame that problem, it actually seems to have improved in terms of getting things all aligned. And maybe it's just human error of getting used to the interface, but it's an experience, it's an evolution, right, that we're going through together. So, what do you think of SUNO? Let me know. I think the answer is 0. No one scored it, so that's definitely a 0. All right, let's listen to this tenor. Let's see if it gives us a tenor. Hopefully it does. Let's listen. All right, here we go. Back to square one, my friends. It took me a few seconds to realize, number one, that was not a tenor in the beginning, and number two, it came with all the instruments I didn't ask for. So if I was to play it, it sounded really weird. Why? 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 I did not ask for that. Why? Okay, let's just mute that. Let's take that all the way down. Saniga Beaver, I didn't ask it to give me all those things. I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna say sax. How about that? Just sax, not even tenor, no soprano, no alto. Just give me a good old sax. That's all I want. Sax. Okay. Work it out. You know what the other prompts were? Go on. You gotta love SUNO, man. I mean, it makes you work for your track. This is why when people say, well, I guess it's no creativity on your part, buddy. Yeah, it's easy to say that, except you're going through the motions and you realize, wow, to have received anything workable out of this tool, one must have been a persevering saint to even get an ounce out of it. Here we go. Here. So this is part of my frustration, because this is a second botched attempt at getting just sax. It was doing really well until it got to this give me a sax. And I really shouldn't have to go into my library to rummage for saxophones. I mean, I could, but I shouldn't have to do that. Okay, let's try brass. You know what? Let's do this. I got an idea. Let's insert a new track and let's bring it up to the top. This is going to be sax again. And I wonder if I just solo these two. Oh, you can only solo one. Okay, acoustic bass. All right, maybe I just solo acoustic bass and I try the same jazz saxophone. I'm gonna have to ask for all my credits back from SUNO if I run out of credits, and I have this video as proof. And you guys as my witnesses, because this is ridiculous. I've wasted quite a lot of credits today. Okay, let's see if this works. Huh. Why? It was doing so well. It was doing so well until it messed things up. Okay, well, I guess we do need some sort of saxophone. So I think it's your day of great fortune, because I just happen to know who can solve my problem. I just happen to know someone, and his name is Kirk. Let's see if Kirk has anything I can use. Wow. Okay. So if this is at about what, 76 BPM, maybe something. Let's see. Let's try something from Kirk. At around, it's 80 BPM. It may or may not work, but it's worth a try. So I'm going to just use a major seventh, a C major seventh lick. It's a soprano though, but it will have to work. It will have to work. Okay, so let's try this. I'm going far back. I'm going far back into the cobwebs at this point. So let's see. I'm going to import a sax loop. Let's see. Just to get this track one and done, and then we can move on to something else. How about that? All right. So this is what I've done. I've moved a sax in here, and we're going to drag it into the timeline. Just close this out, and I'm going to have to go to battle with my friends at SUNO and demand some answers. Answers to questions. All right, let's move this over here. It's a very tiny little loop, unfortunately, but it might help us cover, if nothing else, just the beginning. And it's also a good lesson for those who are new in this world to see how you can manipulate the data to get something at least usable. So this was very essential for the beginning, because the beginning was a little bit empty without the sax, even though we had a very good piano. So right there, I want to give a shout out to our buddy who said use Control E. I want to verify if Control E really does it. Uh-oh, it didn't do it. It didn't do it. Someone said, Phill, you can split. Is it Control E? Control. Oh, it is Control and E, but why isn't it working? Anyway, let's just go ahead and split it. You know, we've played enough. I tried to use the shortcut, but nah, it didn't work. But anyway, so the beginning of the sax piece, we could keep that. And let's unmute and check it out. This is the beginning. Now this is the loop that I brought in. I want you to just listen to it. Okay, so a shout out to the Kirk Whalum library, because Kirk has got some really killer loops. And honestly, if you wanted to spice up your music, you need to look for Kirk Whalum. For those of you that are not into the world of jazz, he has played everyone: Whitney Houston, Bob James, you name any of the big dogs, you know, and he's a master in his own right. So when you have ingredients like that available, you got to use them. So I have a number of loop libraries that I've invested a lot of money in, and these are things that could help you. So let's listen.
The land of SUNO.
So this technique is just going to be cut in as we see fit. So my first
Of SUNO.
So right there, I'm going to move that loop.
Of SUNO.
So right there, I can do a split again, and I have another piece I could use, and I could just keep using this on and on along with this to get through the track. So you could copy, and then you could just keep sprinkling them in.
of SUNO. I was chilling way down in the land of SUNO. Lovely to me. In the land of SUNO. Lovely to me.
So places like that would have been nice to at least hear that. Let's do that again. Let's go back here. Let's do a duplicate and move it down. Let's see if we can use any of it.
In the land of SUNO.
Nah.
Of SUNO.
So right there, I can cut again. It says Control plus E, but it's not working. Let's just do it that way. Okay.
Lovely to me. In the land of SUNO. In the land of SUNO.
So, you know, this is what SUNO should have been doing for me, but it's okay. We can get the track to an end, and I'll put it up on the channel, and it will be a good reminder, the land of SUNO. Anytime we say, I've been in the land of SUNO, we're going to have the inside joke to know what that means.
SUNO. Lovely to me. In the land of SUNO. In the land of SUNO. Land of SUNO. Land of SUNO. Land of SUNO. In the land of SUNO. Land of SUNO.
Nope.
Land of SUNO. Land of
Okay, so I need to cut that right there. Discard. And just fade it out and fade it in. Hold down your control key and just fade it. Fade it, fade it, fade it. Come on now. It's not behaving itself. Okay.
land of SUNO. Land of
And then again, let's get that loop, see if we can.
land of SUNO.
All right, my friends, and that's how you do it. I mean, it's like going through quicksand just to get a tiny little morsel. Look at the Israelite journey we had to go through. Oh my goodness. Anyway, long story short, you would hit export, full song. I mean, I could show you other things you could do. You could go into your DAW and do a whole bunch of other things, but Land of Suno, it says, is saved over here. Let's listen. Oh, it's still cooking, just like how tracks cook. Although it says it's here, but it ain't. Okay.
Chilling in the land of Suno. I was chilling way down in the land of Suno. Lovely to me.
All right.
In the land of Suno. Lovely to me. In the land of Suno. In the land of Suno. Land of Suno.
All right, my friends, that was quite a long journey just to get something half decent. Now, what you could do from this point is hit the 3 buttons, go to remix, go to cover. You knew I was going to do that. Come on now. You knew I was going to do that. And the lyrics, I don't know why the lyrics didn't come across. I don't know. I was chilling. I just made these up on the fly. I was chilling in the land of Suno. Twice. Lovely to me in the land of Suno. I got to start charging Suno for these songs I'm singing about Suno, you know. I'm giving them free publicity in their own, the irony. Okay. So we're going to take all of this. We're going to put in a sax, or we just say instrumental. Okay. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that, Mister. And I appreciate you asking that question, man, because I don't know if you heard the entire album, but as a result of your question about using your voice to, you know, as an instrument and having it, I just said, okay, let me test this out. And I got drawn into this series of experiments and ended up coming out with an entire album. One voice, many songs is what I called it. And you can find that as a result of your question. So I am listening to you guys, and I appreciate your engagement because we're all in this journey together, you know. We're all in the journey together, trying to see how we can use music to better the world around us. That's really it. People on this channel, they just love music. All the, you know, our subscribers, they just love to make music, and that's what's key. So a shout out to all of our subscribers. All right, the style is going to be traditional jazz. Let me borrow Mr. Mister's word, vintage jazz. Warm tenor sax. Actually, yeah, let's see what the tenor sax will sound like. We can have a muted trumpet. We can have that big band panned horns, acoustic bass. Okay. Let's see what it's gonna do. Land of Suno cover. Let's go. I want to wager that Suno is now going to try to show off, to brainwash us to thinking it's not that bad after all. It's going to show off. Just watch. So it's not going to be my voice. It's going to be a different voice, obviously. So if you want Suno to be used to deliver your voice, you got to do Studio. But the moment you do a remix, you're relinquishing that control, you know, and giving Suno the reins. So let's listen. Yeah, I mean, isn't that so ridiculous? Look at how clean it sounds, on point. But when we were in studio, it refused to do anything for us. All right. Let's I'm sorry, I digress. Let's go. Okay, Mr. Piano Man. Okay. All right, Suno, but you disobeyed my instructions. I didn't get no... You know what? I should have done? I should have cranked this thing up. Okay. I should have cranked that up. I should have cranked up the audio influence a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't excuse it for not putting in the lyrics, but maybe, just maybe. Let's check this one out. Give us vocals. Come on now. It's as though it wanted to speak and then it didn't. That's so weird. Okay, I think neither of them have any vocals. So I want to address this weird thing that happened just now. It almost said the word chilling and then it morphed. I don't know if you folks have noticed the morphing effect. It seems like it's about to speak and then the vowel becomes a sax, or because it's all with these sine waves. It just does something so crazy. Anyway, let's try Land of Suno vocal hopes. Let's set our hopes on some vocals this time, because it didn't give us no vocals on those two. And I have to accept the responsibility of not cranking up the audio influence. But nonetheless, it should have. No, oh, style. Oh, no, I put the style in. Yeah, okay. Here we go. What? Okay. Please, just bear with me, because I'm not fixing to listen to another 2 minutes and not a single scrap of vocals in there. Okay, let's go. I think Ella is fixing to come on. Let's listen.
I was chilling in the land of Suno.
Do you see that sample I put in? It copied it.
In the land of Suno. Lovely to me. In the land of Suno.
Go ahead, Ella.
In the land of Suno.
What happened?
I was chilling in the land of Suno. Lovely
Okay. All right. Okay. That's good. Mr. says, what happens if you go in and replace the bass with a sine wave? So let's see what that does. Do we have that functionality here, by the way? I need my glasses. I'm sorry. I don't have my glasses to see properly. It's getting late. No, I don't think you can do that. You would have to maybe maybe be in here. Let's see. Tell me if what I'm doing is making sense to you, Mr. So like if I come in here and I do, let's see, because you know that works well for some music. That would work well for some of our urban stuff. But even though it doesn't technically work here, but I guess you can try, right? So let's see. That would be more of a synth, right? And that would be synth. How did you put it? Let me take your prompt exactly as you said it. So sine wave bass, because that would be crazy in some hip hop jam. Let's see, sine wave bass. Let's see. This is going to be quite an interesting experiment because I can almost predict SUNO's foolishness here in studio. I don't think it's going to comply. I think it's going to do its own thing. Yeah, let's check it out. It's still cooking. See, it's still cooking. So, yeah, still cooking. Maybe it's confused. Let's see. So nothing so far. Oh yeah, for lo-fi, Jeff. That would definitely work for lo-fi. That's true. Yeah, that would work for lo-fi for sure. I'm not getting anything. It's funny. It knew to change the drum kit almost, but it's not giving me purely that alone. But yeah, it does sound like a sine wave. Yeah, so it's not giving me. This is a big issue that I'm sure SUNO is aware, but it's just consistently not behaving itself, giving you exactly what you asked for. It's giving you too much. It's trying to show off. So, very, very Casio-ish, exactly. Very, very Casio-ish for sure. Oh dear. Yeah, PSR, whatever, one of those. But it's proven to be a very interesting experiment. Yeah, it's proven to be an interesting experiment. I think we've uncovered one of the biggest problems with Studio. If Studio is meant to cook you a meal, and all you asked for was salmon and broccoli, and then it says, oh, well, by the way, let me bring out some pumpkin pie. It's overdoing it. I don't care whether the pumpkin pie took you 10 hours to cook or whether it cost you 10 million bucks. I asked for something simple and you're giving me too much. So I can imagine the people at SUNO saying, these ungrateful people, we're giving them everything they asked for and they're making us look bad. Well, hopefully they understand, because it does interrupt the creating process when you're trying to create just using your vocal and trying to lay things on top of each other. It just disrupts the flow. Yeah, but not bad. Now, taking a look objectively, again, I like the fact that you could export. Okay. we could export, and then we came in here and we were able to manipulate it. You get what I'm saying? Now, if I go into my secret sources, right? And I go, let me do the personas. Let me get some of my favorites. These are personas that I've developed. And let's just say Land of Suno Neo. So if I put this gumbo seasoning in there, fire up the pot again, and check out these renditions, I can almost predict 80 to 90% I'm going to get something impressive. So I'm showing people the good and the bad. I'm not just showing you the bad, I'm showing the good. And the good is you could cook a song up in studio, seamlessly transport it over to creating a remix, and you got a remix, no further effort needed. There's your remix.
1, 2, 3.
Crazy. Okay. And you can play on it. I'm playing this live. Okay.
In the land of snow, I was chilling in the land of snow.
That was fun. That was fun. Here's the other one. Check this one out. Ooh, yeah. Yes, sir.
I was chilling in the land of snow. A land it to me. In the land of SUNO, I was chillin'.
Now that's gibberish. Just singing gibberish there.
I was chilling, yeah, in the SUNO. I was chilling, yeah, in the land of SUNO.
Okay. So it took that Kirk loop and used it at the end. So there you have it, my friends. What I like about SUNO, another advantage of SUNO as a whole, is that as a performing musician, you can just have a blast playing to a lot of this stuff, just jamming crazily, you know. So if I wanted to go party, I just hit one of these tracks. I cook these tracks on my phone. Nothing but the phone, just the phone. All from SUNO.
gonna party.
All right, my friends. Had a great time partying with you today.
We're gonna party.
Land of Suno. It's been fun in the land of Suno. We've been able to uncover a lot of quirks in this tool. I want to say thank you to all of you who came through today, chatted in, subscribed, hit the like button. Thank you all very much. If there are any further questions, now will be a good time. Fry TV says, SUNO Studio is a fumble for me. Truth be told, truth be told. Yeah, I hope they do. I hope they do. Jeff says, George Clinton has entered the room. Gap band. You know what time that is. Yeah. Yeah, studio is kind of like a toss-up. You just never know what you're gonna get, you know. Yeah. But it's been fun. Let's see what else we got here. All right, we'll do one more funk track. Let's do this one. Final groove for the night.
We're gonna party. We're gonna party. We're gonna party.
One more.
Jamming on the Lord.
Okay. Marcus just entered the room.
Jamming on the Lord. Taking it way up. Way up. Let's go to the bridge. Yes, sir. Take me there. Yes, it's gonna be jamming on the Lord. Cranking up the funk factor. Jamming on the Lord. Taking it way up, way up, way up, way up, way up. Jamming on the Lord. Way up, cranking up the funk factor. Jamming on the Lord. Taking it way up. Take me to the bridge. Let's go to the bridge. Yes, sir. Take me there. Yes, it's gonna be bliss. Jamming on the Lord. Cranking up the funk factor. Jamming on the Lord. Taking it way up, way up, way up, way up. Take me to the bridge. Let's go to the bridge. Yes, sir. Take me there. Yes, it's gonna be. Yes, it is.
It's just too much fun. I'm telling you. Too much fun.
Jamming on the Lord. Cranking up the funk factor.
All right, Marcus. Time to go home.
Jamming on the Lord.
Okay, my friends. I hope you had as much fun as I did jamming with you, testing out this equipment. So the summary from this adventure is that the SUNO Studio is very, very good when it decides to deliver, okay? When it decides to deliver, it is very, very good. But on days when it decides not to deliver, you can probably pull your hair out completely, just like I was so frustrated just now, having to record time and time again and having to try to reprompt, but you guys kept me going, because honestly, I would probably have quit. There was actually a night like 2 or 3 nights ago when I was trying to get something out of Studio, and I just had it was out of version 5. So this is another warning to users. Version 5 is great, but there's some nights it does gibberish. It does some gobbledygook, and you're like, what on earth? What are you saying? What are you even saying, Suno? So I'm not trying to sugarcoat that Suno is without its flaws. It has flaws, yes. as with every system, even the great Apple iPhone, it has flaws sometimes. It has kinks sometimes that need to be ironed out. There's always going to be bugs. This is an emerging technology, so I applaud SUNO in being bold enough to release it. And truth be told, we are the testers. If the masses don't test the system is likely to fail at some point down the road. So us testing it, beating over its head is a good thing, and it's all going to pay off in the long run. For the skeptics who want to cast stones at us for using SUNO or even considering to use it, I'll just say you cannot police people. You cannot police those who want to try new technologies, because eventually the argument about SUNO learning from copyrighted material is going to go away, because people are then going to be able to train SUNO with their own material, and is probably going to do just as great, or even if not SUNO, there's going to be a new tool that allows you train it based on your own music. Like I have countless just scores of music on cassette, on DAT. In fact, SUNO is making me think I need to go buy a DAT player, because I'm going to go back into all my old tapes. So the summary of what I'm saying is we should be allowed to do whatever we want, and it's ethical until government says something about it, until a law is passed that says if you're using SUNO, you're breaking the law. Just leave us be, right? If our tracks end up being deleted from almighty Spotify, we don't care. Why? Because we'll find the next mousetrap. But SUNO, I can tell you, Spotify isn't fixing to delete all the SUNO tracks. That would be dumb. You saw the track that I created today. It had my vocal that went on first, and then we added some stuff to it. So where's the shame in saying you didn't even bring anything to the party? I laid down a vocal, and SUNO ended up giving me a bass and drums and so on. So allow us, those of you Puritans, all due respect, it's okay to be a Puritan. We need some Puritans in the industry to keep everyone else grounded, okay? I don't want everyone to use SUNO. You shouldn't. That would be dumb. Why do we all have to use SUNO, especially if we don't believe in it? So if you're not warming up to the technology, that's fine. But don't shame people who are. That's my point. I love traditional instruments. One of the few albums I recorded a while back is just titled Piano. And it's just me on the Steinway for 45 minutes. No AI, no other instruments. And I like music like that. But we shouldn't force everyone to be unplugged, or to be just acoustic, or to be, don't use autotune, you're committing fraud. You can't push your viewpoint on people. Okay, so I'm just speaking for the thousands of people on this channel who want to give AI a go. Let them be. So, stop policing them. I was looking in the chat the other day and someone said, don't use AI to do your music. You can't force people. People are going to do what they want eventually. And that's what causes a lot of schisms. You can't force people. Everyone is different. And I love the diversity. I love that some people don't want to use SUNO. I actually celebrate that, because it shows we have a healthy ecosystem of musicians. It will just be, and for me, I always give the example of my daughter. My daughter showed me, hey, Dad, see what I created in, whatever tool it was. It wasn't even SUNO. And at first I was thrown off. It took me some weeks of recovery. I actually think I went for a rehabilitation program somewhere deep in my head, because when I came back, I said, actually, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to police you. I'm not going to try to make you go learn. Because at first she was learning piano and she was doing okay. And then she stopped. So I said, I'm not going to, I'm going to just let you be. If you want to learn, learn. If you don't want to learn, that's fine. Do whatever you want. If you want to do just AI music, I'm not going to police you. We shouldn't, because then it becomes work and drudgery. And, when there's schism and someone trying to force their viewpoints, never good. So that's my monologue for the night, okay? Let's see if we got any questions. Oh my goodness. Fry TV said, SUNO Studio also makes my CPU. Let me bring this to the stage because I know some of you ain't seen this stuff, but these are some very good conversations. So let's take a look at what we have here. Let's see if I can get this to behave itself. Reset. Okay. Reset. So Fry TV says, I might have to read it to you because it's going to be confusing on the screen. I'm sorry. Let me try and make it a little bit bigger. My screen is all over the place, all over the place, all over the place. Huh. I have so many windows open. I think I've missed a lot of chats from you guys. I'm sorry. Okay. Fry TV said, SUNO Studio also needs VST plugins. Yes. Yeah. With a web DAW, that's a good question. But if it's software as a service, they should be able to make that happen for sure. Yeah. I expect to see that happening in the future, near future somehow. Or, as I've always said, SUNO is going to have their own plugins. Is going to have their own plugins in the DAW. You think SUNO wants a third party free for all, then they have to police it and become like the Apple store. They have to police everything that comes in. I don't think that's a good idea for them. But anyway, if they want partners, it would be a good idea to go. But if they want to be the 800-pound gorilla, then hi KP, good to see you. Colors Vary Productions. I tried to post on your subreddit, couldn't post anything. I tried several times. Finally got a comment. I think what it does the making it a parking lot. I got to go and change the settings on that thing. So Fry TV said, SUNO Studio also makes my CPU stay at 95 to 100, and I have to refresh my browser. Yeah. So when I try to do this on my other computer, it's almost at a standstill. It was getting to 5% after several seconds. So, yeah. I hope that gets fixed. Me too. I hope so. Oh, and you have a file. Are you using up to 16 gigabyte of RAM or 24 gig of RAM, or what kind of RAM are you using? Oh, you started an online radio station. Okay, very good. Okay, 70% in SUNO. Well done. That's what I'm trying to encourage, as many who want to do that. I actually have a video on this channel of how to start your own radio station, because I believe everyone who wants to should. My AI music is not slop because I have been working with DAWs. Yeah, I hear you. The term AI slop it just makes me crack up. I just see pigs eating that slop or whatever. Oh my goodness. Oh, 64 gig. Your system should not be slowing down at all. What? No, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right at all. There's definitely something up. Definitely. All right, my friends. I appreciate you coming in. Oh, you've been in radio. Okay. Awesome. Good deal. Awesome. Well, I want to say thanks to everyone who came through. Colors Vary Productions. Thank you. Always good to see one of our members drop in. Jeff, thank you for coming through and sharing your comment. Mr. Appreciate you. Notley Geno. Thank you. On Diddy, thank you very much. Yes, and on Diddy did say right from the beginning, Art and Diddy said in the beginning is SUNO is having trouble where you try to prompt the drum track, other instruments are involved. Yeah. They don't understand just staying in their lane. Everybody wants to jump in. Okay, my friends. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. We were meant to have one of our AI Connect meetings tonight. I am still going to come back. So if there are questions about anything, around 8 p.m. is when it's going to hold. So today, let me see what we're talking about here. So today we're talking about intros, making it real and unique in SUNO, and we're talking about how to go about album releases using AI. So I'm going to talk about these topics tonight. That'll be in the next 2 hours. But until then, I want to say thank you very much. I'm going to be around for the next 5 minutes for questions. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. But for now, appreciate you. Thank you for your patience. And thank you for chiming in. Oh, the SUNO survey. So we had, I should show this to you guys. Let me see if I could show this to guys and girls here. Let's do the pop-out chat thing. All right. Let me move this over here so you can see. Okay. Oh, let's expand it. All right. I want you to see. So it goes down on record what exactly the votes were. Okay. Behold thy votes. So majority, oh wow, okay, 40% of people gave SUNO a 90%. By the way, I think this is the first official SUNO voting on version 5. Hey, SUNO, listen up. People are loving you, even though, you know me, I had a lot of headache today trying to get my stuff. So I may not have given you a 90, but many people gave you a 90 today. So well done, SUNO. We have 30% who gave it a 75. We had 10% give it a 50 and 20% give it a 25. So majority of the folks on this call gave SUNO 75 and above. Wow. Those are really good scores. And this wasn't just open to our SUNO, our AI Connect group. This was open to every and anyone who was on the call. You know, most of our lives, they're just open to the subscribers to chat in. But this time, anyone could participate. So those are very, very good scores. So SUNO, Mikey, and the gang, well done. All right. Thank you very much. I hope I can see you later if I'm able to come back and amuse you with our AI Connect Wednesday meeting. Take care. Bye for now. Au revoir. Hopefully I see you later. Bye, my friends.